Welcome home to St. Anne's.
Guys, I'm getting lazier and lazier as we go along. Okay.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10
if you
a.m.
were
on
in church
Sundays.
last Sunday,
Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
I mean, that would be lovely. But I'm not worried about it. But the gospel for last week was the feeding of the 5,000. And I'm sure most people are familiar with the story of the feeding of the 5,000. And so this all happened. We have the beautiful feeding of the 5,000. Jesus feeds them because nobody has food, and it's a miracle, and isn't it great? And everyone's like, ooh, Jesus hands out food. Wait, what? And so they're like, don't leave, come back. Well, Jesus does leave, and all his disciples leave, and they're like, well, shoot. Where are we going to go now? I mean, that was a pretty sweet gig, getting lunch. So they go looking for him. And Jesus, being Jesus, is like, oh, now we have to fix this. And he's like, guys, that wasn't me just performing miracles to feed you all the time. That was me trying to explain who I am as Jesus. And they're like, but we really like free food. I mean, anyone ever like get the email? There's cake in the office, in the lunchroom. You get there, and there's hordes, and you're like, how many people work here? I don't even know you. You don't even work here. But when there's free food, oh man, we are there. And so Jesus has turned into this magical vending machine where it's broken and it always gives you stuff for free. This is what Jesus has turned into to these people. And he's like, okay, we got to fix this. And he's like, well, guys, that's not what this was. It was not me just handing stuff out for free all the time. It was me trying to explain to you and to show you so you can experience who the Christ is. But we really like free food. So you're saying there aren't donuts in the lounge room? Is that what you're saying? There are no donuts. And they're like, well, and he's like, well, no, because God equips us. And they're like, so now we can make donuts in the teacher's lounge? Is that what you're saying? Well, how do we make the free donuts then? I mean, you're not going to do it, but how do we do it then? And it's like, guys, you're not getting it. You're not getting it because they're like all about their gut. And who is not? You get hungry and that is all that you have in your mind. You're like, food now. I don't care what it is. I will eat it. And so that's kind of where Jesus is in this. And so while this is, feeding of the 5,000 was not the miracle of, giving people free food. It was much deeper than that, and people don't really grasp that. And I think that's a powerful allegory to our world today. Because what we often run into is that church is a magical vending machine. So I go to church. I have a very specific thing that I want from church. So I go to church. I either get that thing. I tell the minister that I want that thing if that thing is not easily available to me. That minister should give me that thing. And if I don't get that thing, well, I'll go somewhere where I can get that thing. Religion is like Walmart now. We're like the God Mart. And that's troubling to me, especially as a minister, because and what Jesus is trying to explain to them is, I'm not here to give you stuff to feed you. I'm here to give you relationship that really truly feeds you. That this is about your connection with the divine. This is about your connection with the world around you. That's what this is about. This isn't about some material thing that you want right now, but guess what? You're going to want it again later. And I will tell you as a minister that is one of the hardest things to answer, because ministers get treated like you don't get what you want from the salesperson, so you're like, I want to see a manager. Somehow I have turned into the manager. And clergy everywhere, we're now the manager. I want to see the manager. I didn't like this song on Sunday. I want to see the manager. The gardens are a little bit weedy. I would like to see the manager. I didn't like that particular sermon. I would like to complain to management. And if you don't work, I'll go above you. Which is like the bishop, so God bless. If I were you, I would just pray to God that God intervene somehow, because it's going to take a lot to intervene on the sermons, to be honest with you. I'm just being frank. It is what it is. But we have this problem. We have this problem in our society of everything being disposable. Everything is consumer. And in fact, our relationships have turned into that too. What do I love most about somebody who makes me happy? What am I looking for in my relationships? Somebody to make me happy. Ain't nobody ever gonna make you happy. Because humans, kids, players, humans suck. And they will at some point, they will disappoint you. Because we're humans, and that's what we do. So if we go into any human-based situation, any religious-based situation with, I want my needs met. These are my needs. This, and this. Guys, we're going to get hungry again. God will not answer that particular hunger. Other humans will not answer that particular hunger. We will get hungry again. We will get disappointed. We will get angry. And then we'll be like a 3-year-old who, missed snack time. But I'm hungry now! I don't have anything in my purse. Fruit snacks now! I don't have any fruit snacks. You ate them 10 minutes ago. But I'm hungry now. That's how we are. Guys, that's how we are. I want it now. And if I can't have it right now, then I'll go somewhere where I can get it right now. Walmart doesn't have it. Target will. St. Anne's doesn't have it. Martin Luther Lutheran will. And I'm not... Martin Luther Lutheran is wonderful. It's lovely. They have great ministers. Don't go there, though. I like you here. Stay here. It was just an example. So this is my plug for Martin Luther. They're wonderful. Don't go there, though, because, here is great. So, what does all of this mean? What does all of this mean? It means what God and Jesus are trying to say is this is what church is supposed to look like. It's not a consumerism. It's not God Mart. It is helping you to find what the really true inner need is and to help you meet that inner need. Church is not about where you get what you want. Church is about equipping you to do that. Church is not ministry for you. Church is helping you be equipped to do that ministry. And so our big fad right now is I want to go to a church where I can just leave, where no one's going to notice that I'm there. Hopefully there are 5 million seats, and I won't have to know the person next to me because no one's going to notice when I leave. That's not faith. I'm not knocking any of those churches, and if you love those churches, that's great, because I'm sure some of them have wonderful messages, some of them don't, but whatever. But they all have great teeth. I don't know. Teeth are cool. But that's not ministry. That is not following Christ. Following Christ is being equipped to find God in your life and to go out and help the world be a better place. It is about relationship. It is about seeing so far into yourself that you realize those ugly parts need to change. That is faith. That is religion. And that is what God calls us to. And so I'm a strong believer. For those of you who are fairly new to this church, we have what's called a lay-led church. It means I do basically strictly this, which is kind of sad, but whatever. But that is the church that Jesus offers. That is the early church. That is the church that we are called to be. Not where one person with great teeth and great hair who is incredibly charismatic, because they always are. I mean, nobody wants to go to some schmuck's church. I mean, do you want to go tell your friends I go to schmuck's church? No. You want to be like, I go to whatever church, and there are 5,000 people there, so you know it's good, because, like, everybody goes to Walmart, so clearly Walmart's good. And you're like, is it? But that's not what we're called to do. We're called to do ministry ourselves. So church is really a rest stop. It's a chance to be equipped to do that ministry. So when we talk about a lay-led church, when we talk about being the body of Christ, which Paul describes, Paul doesn't describe one part of the body that runs all of it for all of us all the time. Paul describes a body that is made up of all sorts of different parts, right? And that's what it takes for a body to work, all sorts of different parts. And when you have a mess, you know when some of the parts go wrong. Like, you know how much you want all those parts to work, because sometimes when they don't work, it's terrible. So we know what this is supposed to look like. This is the church that Paul calls us to. This is the early church. This is the church that God describes, that Christ hands to these people. But all of us guys, at our very core, we want it to be easy. We want it to be easy. And religion and faith, they're not easy. By definition, they call us to things and places we don't want to go. And so it's easy to want the simple stuff. It's easy to want to show up and do your part, and for a minister to tell you, okay, if you want this program is for you. If you want this program is for you. And I tell you, as clergy, it is very, very tempting to fall into that. Oh, you want that? Okay, fine, I'll find a way to meet that need. But is that what I should be doing? Should I just be giving you another meal? I mean, Jesus could have done that. Jesus could have, when they showed up and they're like, dude, we really like the donuts in the teacher's lounge. I'm like, you like donuts? I will show you the best. Don't go be looking at those other messiahs. I will show you the best donuts. And I'll give them to you for free, and you can have them all the time. It's going to be great. But is that what Jesus does? Or does Jesus step back and be like, whoa, wait, hold on. You misunderstood. That's not what this is. This isn't about filling your belly for a few short minutes. And don't get me wrong, our coffee hour is phenomenal. It is, it's great. But that's not the point. The point is helping you figure out what that inner need is that's so strong that points to God. Those inner drives that are so strong that you need more community. You need more relationship with each other, with the world around you, and with God. Because that is the real, honest-to-God need that we all have. The rest of it, well, frankly, you can go anywhere and find something to eat. You can go anywhere and find childcare and coloring pages. You can get them for free online. Those things, that's not what this is really about. What this is really about is what is at our very, very core. But guys, our urge is to be consumers, isn't it? And my urge is to give you what you want. But there are going to be times where that's not the best answer for anybody. When we talk about a lay-led church, we're talking about if there's a ministry you want, do it. If there's a ministry that you feel driven to do, guess what? That's God. And you are equipped to do it by grace of God calling you to do it. Now, the church's role is to help you and to empower you to do those things, but it's not our job to do ministry for you. It is your job. It is my job. It is all of our jobs because God called us to this. And those ministries are as varied as we are. And that's good. The hand shouldn't do what the foot does. And if you can pick things up with your toes, well, that's awesome. But please don't. It's the hand's job to do those things. And the foot does what the foot does. And the head does what the head does. And the heart does what the heart does. And the tongue, God bless you, that's probably me. And it probably does some things that it shouldn't do sometimes, but it does it anyway. We all have those gifts. And it's nobody's job to tell you exactly how those gifts should look. And it's not my job to do those gifts for you. Those are yours. And you guys know that I'm screwed up beyond belief. And you know that you can do those things probably way better than I can. There's a reason I don't do them. And that's because God calls each of us to do our ministry. So, if you feel the urge, answer it, because that's probably God knocking. And if you feel the urge to look around you and compare yourself to all those other churches and all those other Christians out there, well, that's not God either, is it? Because God calls us to where we are, when we are, and how we are. And God equips us to do that ministry. And guys, if there are donuts in the teacher's lounge, I'll be the first one there. Or cake. Costco
We want
cake.
you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
Let's stand together and say the words of the Nicene Creed.